If you're watching the replay, which I don't even know if this is going to go on the replay, I was sitting here and I was getting a little sleepy, and I was like, I really need to make a video or something in regards of the snow, because we have some really bad weather that is upon us, and I was like, let's just go live. So I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit to see if anybody hops on live to answer some questions about the snow. Yeah, so I'm just going to hang. I guess I'm just going to hang out for a minute. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm actually really tired right now. I want to take a nap. I probably am going to take a nap. I ate too many tater tots. And I'm freezing. So part of me wants to put my robe on. So I don't know. I'll just wait a minute. I'm going to prop you up here. Whoops. Yep, we're back. Did it end? Did I end it? No, we're good. Okay. I'll just let you hang out here for a minute. If anybody hops on, cool. If not, let me grab a couple questions. I guess I probably should have grabbed a couple questions first. I just asked ChatGPT what like the top questions are for Pooper Scooper. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you scoop when the yard is covered in snow? Yes. Yes, we scoop when the yard's covered in snow. It just depends on the depth. You know what? Oh, there is somebody on here. Okay, cool. I was just getting ready to hang up, so I'm happy you hopped on. Hey, say hey. I'm just gonna answer some questions right now about the snow. I don't if you're watching and you're tuning in, and you are in the areas where we're getting like bad weather, like right now we have a bunch of snow outside. And so I'm getting some questions about like some text messages and stuff with people asking me what we're doing. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to answer these questions that I just pulled up. If you have questions that you want to ask, I'm going to hang out for a little bit and answer them before I lay down and actually take a nap. So what was the question going to be? Yeah, do I scoop snow when the yard is covered in snow? Yes. If it's a fresh snowfall, right, and we have a lot of snow, we kind of have to look at it is, are the roads safe? That is how I gauge if we're gonna go out or not. Yeah, we can scoop a yard that has snow. Will we be able to find everything? No, but we'll be able to find some. My biggest thing is, can we get to that property safely? And is my staff going to be safe? So say for instance, if it snowed, let's say it's snowing today, right? We get dumped on. The snow's deep. Sucks, whatever. Yes, the yards are going to be snowy, but if we can still get there safely because there's been enough time to where our main roads have been taken care of. Those have been plowed. We've given the homeowners pretty much enough time to like get their sidewalks shoveled and get that kind of stuff taken care of. We can get there safely. It's fine. You know, it's not too cold to where, you know, the staff is going to get frostbite. Like on Friday, we actually canceled service because it was real feel -9 degrees, -9 degrees. So we canceled. And then on Wednesday, we canceled because during the shift, while they were out, the snow just started coming down very quickly and the roads started to get dangerous. And so we ended up calling it. And the roads were much better by like 2 or 3 o'clock. It's going to be dark in like 2 hours from then. So like we canceled the day. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any questions, ask me because I'm going to be on here just for a minute. I just want to talk about snow and bad weather. Oh yeah, I wanted to pull up a message. That's what I wanted. I posted a message that I send out. I posted that on the YouTube channel. Like on the, what is it called? Like the community tab where it says post. So the message that we sent out Friday, I already knew ahead of time. I knew we were going to cancel service. Therefore, I went into Jobber and I changed our 8 a.m. text message that automatically gets sent out to all of our customers. So what this one said was, attention, due to dangerously low temperatures, today's service is canceled. Thank you for understanding. Please stay warm. With this, I didn't go into a bunch of detail with pricing and what's going to happen, because at this time I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if this was like a full cancellation or if it was going to be a reschedule. Say for instance, it was so cold. It's so cold on Friday. But then all of a sudden Saturday it's really not. Like, I don't know why. The weather just changes all of a sudden. We could have went and worked Saturday. We could have went out yesterday. But the temperatures were like pretty much exactly the same on Saturday as they were Friday. So the service is just completely canceled. We'll try again this upcoming week. With service upcoming here on what is it? On Monday, we're supposed to get dumped on. So right now I'm going in and I'm changing my message. I'm going to change the message in Jobber, the automated one, to let people know that our service is going to be canceled for tomorrow. Having said that, if we don't get another round of snow like we're supposed to, it snowed this morning. Everything's kind of getting taken care of again. If we don't get that next 5 inches that they're calling for, we're going to go out tomorrow. But if we do get that 5 inches, we're going to cancel it. And I'll have to change my message and let people know that we're actually going to go out. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. There's been so many situations where they called for a ton of snow and then we didn't get it. And then I canceled service too early and it was like, there was no snow. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm waiting. I did let the staff know that we might not work tomorrow. We're going to have to play it by ear. Okay. Next question. How deep is too deep to scoop safely? I haven't really had a winter where it was like too deep. There was one winter when we were walking and like my boots were being taken off because the snow was so deep. But I wouldn't say it was like a safety concern. But we don't get snow that's that deep. I mean, just get tall boots. Dress for the weather, okay? What temperatures are a hard no-go for scooping? Okay, anything that's -0. If we're going into the -0 or they have the frostbite warning where, you know, if you're outside for 15 minutes, you could experience frostbite, that's when we're going to cancel it. It was -9 on Friday. That's when we decided we were going to cancel it. Because at that point, it's far too cold. The wind was just so aggressively whipping all over the place. And so that's the other thing too. Like, is it cold by itself or is it cold wind is like cutting through you to where you're like, you can't breathe. And are the roads dangerous? At the end of the day, we need for our scoopers to be safe. I thought somebody just asked this question, but it was YouTube prompting me. It was like, what's your go-to comfort food? I'm like, who asked that? That was just YouTube. Hey, Kathy. Hey. I'm talking about weather. I just seen that you're canceling for the week because the weather is bad. You're glad you don't have to deal with the snow. I do not like it when it's windy and cold. I'm telling you, this weather has been rough. We're supposed to get another 5 inches, but we'll see what happens. But that wind, it just cuts right through you. It just makes it hard to breathe. And then your face is just frozen and your fingertips are burning. It's just not worth it. Oh, you got a foot of snow? I don't know how much snow we have. I'll have to go out and measure. I'll have to do that. Okay, the next question on here is, do you cancel service for ice versus snow versus extreme cold? Ice storm, yes, we're canceling. We're not going out. Snow, we will go out as long as the roads are okay. If it's that light dusting, whatever, not a big deal. We're going to go out. The roads have already been treated. But when it starts coming down, we're talking 2, 3, 4 inches. Usually 2 inches is the trigger. If it's 2 inches in one snow event, I cancel service. I've had to cancel twice last week. It was a Wednesday and a Friday. So I don't know what this week's going to look like, but I think, like I was saying, I think Monday we're going to have to cancel. And extreme cold, like I said, yeah. If it's frostbite weather, we're going to cancel. How do we avoid slips and falls and workman's comp claims? Okay. With slips, when you're walking, you have to be aware of your surroundings. And so with my feet, I have nice boots, and then I have my feet, and I kind of like waddle almost like a duck. And then also the rake you can use as like a walking stick. And that's what I tell my staff too. You have to proceed with caution with these yards. You can't just be walking on them like they're normal because there could be a sheet of ice in it. Having said that, I can't prevent what's going to happen. All I can do is have the conversation with the staff and then make my better judgment of how we want to proceed with, are we going to service that day or are we not going to service that day? That's why I was saying earlier, giving people the time to get their driveways and their sidewalks situated before we go there, that sets us up for success more. What type of gear actually works in the winter? I like to wear snow pants. I'll usually wear a pair of leggings under the snow pants. I like to wear a pair of insulated boots. I have a pair of Columbia insulated boots. I believe that they are 160 grams of insulation. It's just enough, but not too much to where my feet are going to get sweaty. I do wear gloves. Me personally, I can't wear a very thick glove because I have little hands, and then 2, it's hard to like maneuver and open the bags and then grip the rake. So I do have like a thinner glove. I wear a ski jacket that matches my pink pants. So I'm in a hot pink jacket, hot pink snow pants. And then I personally usually have like a base layer. I have like a hoodie where I can put a hood over my head. I'll have a hat, jacket, snow pants, light gloves, and boots. And that's just what I wear. I don't go cheap. I don't go cheap with the stuff that I purchase, like the boots that I wear. I believe they're like $200 and some change, but I've had them this is going on my 6th season. So I've gotten my money's worth for sure. Okay, how do I handle frozen dog poop? Great question. We scoop what we can see. When we're walking back and forth and we're scooping in a backyard, so not only are you looking with your eyes, but you're also like looking with your feet too. So when you're walking, you can feel under your foot. You're like, oh, it feels like a rock or uneven ground, it's probably a pile of poop. A lot of times you can kick it free and then you scoop it into your bucket. I know that there's scoopers out there that will get out like a hacker and like a Corona rake, one of those like heavy duty Corona rakes to hack the piles free. I don't do that. I try to kick it free. I don't put too much force to where I'm gonna break my toe, or if it does kick free and it flies, it's gonna break somebody's window. I just try to kick it free, and if it doesn't, I just let the homeowner know, especially if it's like on their patio or something like that, or like on a wooden deck. I just say, this pile is frozen to the ground, it's frozen to your patio. We're gonna have to wait until the temperatures warm up a little bit to be able to get that pile. And for the most part, I don't know the statistics, let's just say 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the homeowners are understanding. They're like, oh, no worries, I totally get it. Thank you for letting me know. I always like to get ahead of that just because it's better to like let them know versus them coming home and looking out and they're, go to let their dog out and they see a frozen pile on their deck. They're like, what the heck? This scooper didn't even do their job. At least you told them. They're like, oh yeah, it's frozen. It's one with the ground. Because they're not going out there. They don't know. That's why they're hiring you. And during these winter situations, yeah, we can't get everything scooped. We can only do the best that we can. But the cool thing is when the snow melts, we're going to get all that poop up. Yes, we're going to be in that backyard a lot longer, but we're still going to be able to do it. So it's a matter of, what I have found success with is just having a conversation with the customers, even when they're upset about a skipped service and still getting charged. They don't know, right? So I have to explain it to them and explain the situation of like, I completely understand that you're upset and you don't understand it. Like, we didn't show up, but here's the reason of why we're on the monthly subscription. Here's how this is going to work. Yes, we weren't able to scoop your yard today, but what's going to end up happening is when the snow melts, we're going to be here and we're going to scoop up all this dog poop at no extra charge because you've already taken care of this ahead of time. And for the most part, the customers get it. Like, it clicks in their brain, like they understand. And for me, the customers that just are absolutely not, you give me the refund, we usually part ways, because it's not going to just be this kind of situation. A lot of times those are the customers that want us to come right before their landscaper gets there. They're the customers that need to have time frames. They're the customers that have issues with the billing and they want to nickel and dime you anyways. And so a lot of times they kind of just weed themselves out throughout the process, because I want to have customers that are understanding, because that's how we can team up and we can work together through this, because it's tough out here, right? It's a lot. And so to have customers that are understanding that we show up unless it's dangerous, that makes a much more pleasurable experience for the staff and for the office, like for me, because it's like the customers care. The customers care and they're understanding. And so I can't say that I've had a lot of issues with people like freaking out on us when it comes to having to skip or cancel a service day, mainly because we don't do it very often. It has to be extreme weathers, like an 8-inch snowfall, negative temperatures, an ice storm, because we always just figure it out. We always figure out what we need to do, and then we communicate well. So that was a long one. Okay, the lowest temperatures that we go out, I think it's 8. I think 8 degrees, 8 or 5. That's the lowest, really. I mean, we went out when it was around like 8 degrees, but once it starts to hit that negative, we don't go out. But also, Kathy, too, it's like, is it cold mixed with winds? Because that's the other thing. If it's cold outside and there's no heavy winds, it's not that bad. Like, it's not that bad, We're wrapped up. We got our snow gear on. We got our snow pants on. We pop into a yard. We're out there for what, 7 minutes, 8 minutes? Because it's so snowy outside anyways. We're just following the dog's footprints, getting what we can get, and getting back in the truck or the car. So we're not out in these backyards for 15, 20, 30 minutes. But if that wind is whipping and is cutting, it does not matter what you have on. It just cuts right through you. Like, there's nothing we can do at that point. Under 20, that's so funny. That's like summer. Right now, we'd be like, ooh, it's so warm. It's 20 degrees. Where's my shorts? That's so funny. But you're also in, you're in Indiana. So it's different. When it got up to like 35 degrees here, 40 degrees, I seen people with shorts on at the gas pump. Yeah. Okay, I'm from Michigan. I'm here in Michigan, about 30 minutes from Detroit. Tammy says, there are about 10% that every business should always avoid. Your time spent on trying to satisfy them most likely wouldn't be an investment. You're correct, Tammy. I have found that if we will allow it, those customers that are more difficult will take up so much of our time and our energy and our mental space that we're not able to focus that on being better for our awesome customers. So I completely agree with that. And those are the ones we're afraid to have conversations with. But it has to happen. I'll give you your refund and you can go with another company. Go for it. If it's really that big of a deal. Okay, what's the next question? What do you do when gates are frozen shut? Great question. We skip it. We have to skip the yard. There's times where we just have to skip for 1 week. And let's say their house is on a Tuesday. We let the homeowner know, hey, your gate is frozen. We're not able to get into your yard. They either come out and figure out the gate for us right there, then and there, or we leave, we skip it. And if they're able to get their gate figured out like that night or the next day, because my service area is so small and we are in majority of the areas that I service at least twice a week, we can just add them on to the end of the week. It's really not that big of a deal. If we have to fully skip it, then we just skip it. And there's times where we have to actually pause service because there's no way. Like their gate, those white gates, those like nice ones that everybody has here in Michigan, the ground starts to raise up. And then that's it. Like you can't get those gates open. It's stupid. So there's been I would say a handful of customers where once this starts to happen, we just pause their service until March. And then they have to pay the initial cleaning fee. And we figure that out. We have conversations. Do I send texts out during wind chill warnings? Wind chill warnings. If it's frostbite, no. No, if it's frostbite stuff, we don't. And we have a conversation too. We just talk about it. And for the most part, all of us agreed on Wednesday that the roads were too dangerous. And then all of us agreed that Thursday was fine. And then Friday, it was too cold. Okay. Do I still charge full price if you can't scoop everything? If they're on recurring service, yes. Because we're a recurring model. So they're prepaying for a month's worth of service or a month's worth of dog poop at the beginning of the month. So what happens is they pay up front. We get what we can get. But it's also having that conversation. We're still showing up. They see us back there. We're getting what we can get. And then when that snow melts, we're spending a lot of time. Right before we shut down for Christmas break, we got a nice melt. Each one of the properties were taking no less than 20 or 25 minutes. We were in every single yard almost double the time getting all of this dog poop picked up. And we don't charge the customers anything extra because they've already paid their dues. The only times I would not charge full price, let's say a customer What would be an example right now? Let's say a customer wants a one-time cleaning right now. All the snow is on the ground. They asked for a one-time cleaning next week. And they said, it's been 6 months. It's been 6 months since I scooped my dog poop. I'm not going to find 6 months of dog poop out there right now. I'm probably going to find a week or two's worth of dog poop. So I'm not going to charge them $150 or $170 like I would charge them during springtime or a different time throughout the year. I'll probably charge them like $50 and be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to get 6 months worth of dog poop, but when I come out, I'll do my grid pattern, I'll walk the perimeter, I'll look on your patio, and I can get what I can get, but I'm not going to get everything. So this is the price that it is. Do I pay my employees when you call the day for weather? I do. I do. I feel this is the tough one, but yeah, I still pay because the customers are still paying. It's not like the business is out of any money, and for the most part, like I don't have anybody that is like, oh, it's just I'm not coming in. Like everybody is like so die hard at the business that it's like we'll go out unless it's like extreme weathers. So like that's the, I guess, the perk. I don't want my people to be like, well, I need to go find another job because we didn't work 3 days this week. And I know a lot of seasonal work is like that, but I don't put my people on unemployment because we pretty much keep working. So as long as like my funds keep coming in the way that they are with the business, I already have that money allocated to pay my staff. And so that's kind of just like one of the perks where they probably get like, I would have to say we get our week paid off vacation between Christmas and New Year's. That's paid for. And then probably like maybe 5 days throughout the year where it's like paid time off, where it's seasonal and they don't have to work. Business owners might be like, that's stupid. You could be saving that money on payroll. That's a conversation for another time. I don't want to play with people's money. I know they got bills to pay. I don't want to play games with it. So yeah. If I have work for them to do, then I can put them to work. But when it's negative, when it's like negative degrees out, it's not like I can send them to go wash the car or something. I can't have them do stuff. Or if the roads are too unsafe to drive on, I'm not gonna be like, well, we're not scooping today, but come in here to the office and we're gonna like rearrange this stuff. I don't know. I just let it be. So yeah. Should winter scooping be optional or mandatory? I mean, for like a business side of it, yeah, mandatory. If you're working for me, you have to work. Like you have to work in the weather. You have to go out and go scoop. That's the nature of the job. Yeah. Like if one of my technicians were like, it's really not that cold, right? Let's say Kathy, for instance, 20 is very cold for you. 20 is not cold for us. So if I had an employee that was like 20 degrees is too cold, it's unsafe, I'm not coming into work. Okay, well, this is an incident. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have a verbal. I'm gonna write you up because you're refusing to come into work. It is safe. We can get to and from. This job just might not be the right situation for you. And not everybody's cut out to work outside. It ain't for everybody. But I think it's a necessity to make sure that we're taking care of people's yards and people are keeping up on their properties. Rats, bacteria, like it all still happens throughout the winter, and then the snow is going to melt and it's going to be an absolute disaster. So for anybody, like if you're a regular dog owner watching this, which I don't think any of you are on this channel, And you're like, oh, well, I don't need to scoop the dog poop because it's not that big of a deal. It is. It is a big deal. It really is. Letting it sit out there all winter has like a whole list of negative effects. So there's that. How do you explain we'll get it when it melts to customers? I just say, the snow is going to melt, right? And when it does, this is what happens behind the scenes on my end. My phones go crazy. It's insane. Like it's an emergency. Everybody needs their dog poop scooped now, okay? So with you staying on with us for recurring service, when this snow melts, we're going to take care of you first. You are our priority. We're going to make sure your yard is caught up before we take on any new customers. I just say it like that. I try not to get too wordy. I just say, you know, we'll get it. I'm here for you. I'm going to take care of you. You're not going to have to worry about it. And that's it. Do I pause billing during heavy snow weeks? No. But personally, I've never had to shut down for more than, I don't think I've had to cancel anybody's service 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. Unless their gate was frozen or there was some sort of issues. Then that type of situation, I usually pause their billing and we'll pick back up. But we'll also do like a dance. So say for instance, okay, last Wednesday we had to cancel service. This Friday we had to cancel service. I might have to cancel service this Monday. So if we cancel service this Monday, we do Tuesday's houses, we do Wednesday's houses, and we're going to do Thursday and Friday. Now, say for instance, we're going to have to cancel again on Friday. I'm going to look at the weather. I'm going to be like, okay, are we going to be able to scoop on Saturday? Can we push it? Can we pull it? And try to like, what is it? Rob Peter to pay Paul and kind of do a dance, because some customers can be more forgiving, right? You have some customers that it's like, you haven't skipped at all. So you're like, okay, I can skip them this week because I haven't had to skip them. And then I skipped this person or this group of people like a month ago and it's been a while, so maybe they could tolerate another skip. So it's kind of like this game that you play to try to see who you cannot, how do I want to word that? Like, tick off the least amount of people by doing this like shift. I think when you get to when you get to like a much bigger size, it's probably harder. I don't know what that looks like when you get to like massive scale. But for me, it's still kind of manageable right now. But we'll see. We'll see how this week goes. I think Kathy's having to shut down all week. Ugh. How do I prevent churn? Conversations. Reassurance. Reassuring the customer. Thanking them for sticking with you. Letting them know that this is just a brief period of time. The weather is going to break and we're going to be right back out there to take care of this for you. No worries. Now, sometimes there are some customers that I would have to say are like higher priority. And here's why. If you have a large yard, right? You have this big yard. Let's say 1/4 of an acre, half acre, one dog. Okay. That's a lot of area. That's a lot of area for that dog to go to the bathroom. They're going to be least likely to complain if you've had to skip 1 or 2 weeks than a small yard, 4 dogs. Small yard, 4 dogs, and you've skipped 2 or 3 weeks. There's poop up to their freaking eyeballs, right? There's poop everywhere. There's poop all over the place. That person's going to be like, yo, what's going on? I see poop everywhere. So you might have to be like, okay, I got some bi-weeklies over here. Maybe I can push them off to next week. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take care of these customers because they're freaking out right now. Let's get this figured out. That's where you kind of you have to know your business, right? You have to know your business. You have to know your customers. And it's like, okay, who's going to cancel on me right now? Because I got to figure this out. Central Indiana is all closed. Multiple business schools with this crazy storm. That's nuts. I mean, it's coming down right now. I don't know if they've canceled schools. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. They did just declare a snow emergency, so I imagine they're going to cancel schools. Okay, what else? How do you price frozen yards versus normal yards? We're not going to answer that one. You didn't ask these questions. You didn't ask this question. This is just something I pulled up online. What exact message do you send when you cancel for snow? So my most recent message was attention, capital attention, because I like to get people's attention in the messages that we send through Jobber. Due to dangerously low temperatures, today's service is canceled. Thank you for understanding. Please stay warm. That one was for temperatures. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me move you for a minute. Put you back. You're like, where I have you positioned, it's right in the way of my screen. Let me go back to Wednesday. Who are some of my Wednesday customers? Okay, and the one we sent out on Wednesday for the snow said, attention, with the continued snow and poor road conditions, we've made the decision to cancel today's service to keep everyone safe. We're sorry for the inconvenience and truly appreciate your understanding. Stay safe today. That was the snowy one. Really, how I structure my messages is I just call attention to it. Attention. I let them know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what to expect. And then I always thank them. Kind of like set the expectation, like, thank you for understanding. So I'm assuming that they're going to be understanding because the weather is dangerous, the temperatures are dangerous, and they want us to be safe. You know? Do I reschedule services or roll it into the next visit? I have to play it by ear, right? So let's say, for instance, we get a ton of snow, right? It just get blasted. We get a bunch of snow. The likelihood of it melting by the next day is like, it's slim to none. Like, versus if it rains, say for instance, it's during the warm season and it rains, we can just push that out a day, or we can, go out on a Saturday, because we're still going to be able to get that poop. It's going to be worth our while. In the winter, it's a little bit different. If we get blasted with a ton of snow and we have to cancel that service, going back out a day later isn't going to really make a lot of difference with 6 inches of snow covering on top of it. Like, it covered everything. We need another week to even be able to find anything at that point. But say, for instance, if it was like a light dusting that just like happened all of a sudden, just came out of nowhere, covered everything up, and we needed to cancel for the morning, and then the temperatures rose up, and then that all kind of went away because the sun melted it, or the temperatures melted it, then we would be able to just push that back and like reschedule it with how our schedule is. I hope this makes sense. It makes sense in my brain, but I'm hoping I'm explaining it well enough. How do I stop customers from complaining about missed poop under the snow? Well, you can't really stop them. You can just let them know that you can get what you can see. I mean, that's all you can do. We don't get a lot of complaints. A lot of times it's so cold, people don't want to go outside anyways. And if they do, you just tell them, be like, we got what we could. We'll make sure to pay attention to that area better next time. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I always thank people when they bring it to my attention. When they call to complain or express concern or whatever, I always thank them, because how are we going to know how to do better? We won't. So it's really important that they bring this stuff to our attention. Do we educate customers before winter hits or react later? We let people know that we continue to scoop. A lot of our customers have been with us for a very long time. That's something, I knock on wood, we've been really, really good about having very loyal customers, and our churn rate is very low. When does our churn rate kick up? Churn rate usually kicks up when I hire new staff, because that's when more complaints happen. But I try to get ahead of that by explaining to the customer, we have a new technician. They're within their training process, like their 90-day training process. If you are unsatisfied with anything, please bring this to my attention so we can make sure that we're able to train to get insert person up to speed. I know that you're used to, let's say, name. I know you're used to Charles. Charles has been with us for 1.5 years, 2 years, and he is a very skilled scooper. With us working together, we're going to get insert person up to speed, and they're going to take excellent care of you. So don't hesitate to reach out to me and give me feedback. This is going to allow insert technician to really be able to serve you the best that they can moving forward. And some people might be like, that's too much. That's too many words. I like to communicate. I just like to have the customer communication and set the expectations, because an uneducated buyer, an uneducated consumer, they can only make decisions based off of what they know or what they assume. So I feel like it's my job to educate them, to explain what's going on, and kind of get ahead of it, because I hate being shocked. I hate when things happen and I'm stunned. I'm like, what? I want to know what's going on. But then you get some customers that's like, don't communicate with me. They don't respond back to text messages. They don't care. Just get the poop. I don't care who my scooper is. I don't care about none of it. Just do what you got to do and don't talk to me. And those are the people that unsubscribe from our text messages. It's so funny. Yes, good communication is key. What do you say when someone still says, I still want it done? Okay, let's say, if you get a customer that says, I want a one-time cleaning, it's been 5 months, and I want all of the poop picked up. I need for you to go through that entire backyard and make sure every single pile is picked up. I'm going to tell them that's not possible. I can't do that for you. It is impossible. I can't. But what I can do is I can get what we can see and what we can feel. Or you can wait until the melt happens, and then I can get you on route. Same thing with weekly service. If I have a person that's like, my dog poops on the patio, there's frozen piles, you need to get every single pile up. I don't care what you got to do. No, we're not able to accommodate that. And then just have to go our separate ways with them. Because one, I'm not going to break a toe. Some of those piles are like, they're frozen. And then secondly, okay, I kicked this frozen pile off of your deck, your wooden deck, and then I just removed some of your finish. Are you going to want for me to refinish your deck? That's not that's not happening either. So that's just a customer that we would lose. All right, I answered the question. Do I still pay the techs if the routes get canceled? Yes. Now, listen to this. Like, say, for instance, if we had a situation to where we were just getting blasted. I mean, we were closed down for like a month or two. I might have to put my team on unemployment. Yeah, if we were shut down for like a month or 2 months, or we had to do something like that, I pay into unemployment. So I would put my team on unemployment. Do I send techs home early in bad weather? Yeah, we will. If we know that there's bad weather coming, we will get ahead of it. We don't want anybody driving in the poor weather. I can't say that I did the best job on Saturday or on Wednesday about this, because I was in my female community group. She built that, and I was talking to the ladies, and I wasn't looking out the window. And when I was finished, I looked outside and seen how much snow there was. So I slacked. That's how we communicate, is via Slack. I slacked the team, and I'm like, "How are the roads, everybody? Are you guys okay?" And my new girl, my new girl, she's a woman. She's not a girl, but she's so sweet. She's from Florida. So she hasn't really driven in the snow. And for those of you that have been around here for a while, you know the issues I've had with vehicles. I was like, I need to go get her right now. Like, I don't want her driving if she doesn't know how to drive in the snow. It was fine. She got back to base, and we talked about like her driving in the snow and stuff. Everybody was safe. But if you can get ahead of it, I would. But also too, like, what kind of vehicles do you have? I have a truck that is 4-wheel drive. And then I also have the Honda HRVs, which are all-wheel drive. And I specifically purchased those vehicles specifically because I know our weather. I know that we need to have a 4-wheel drive truck. I know that we need to have cars that have all-wheel drive. And that's why I love those two. They're my favorite. How do I keep morale up during the winter slowdowns? Just having conversations, talking, setting the expectations, and I don't know, my team is pretty upbeat. Everybody's pretty upbeat. We don't have any Debbie Downers yet. I don't know. We have a pretty good culture. Right, but it also leads with me. It also leads with me where I'm like, yeah, today's weather's cold. We got to bundle up. You know, let's not turn into poopsicles outside. You know, keeping it light and keeping it intentional. And like, we're doing a good thing out here. We're taking care of this dog poop for these people so they don't have to do it. Like, we're serving the good purpose. We're fighting the good fight out here. Do I limit route size in the winter? Yeah, so we have limited visibility with our sun. So between like 8 a.m., we can go out and start scooping because we have enough daylight. And by like 5 or 5:15, we have to be done. So we're not doing a ton of houses. We can get about 20 houses done, maybe 25 houses done in that shift. It also depends on the driving too, like how bad are the side streets. So yeah, we're definitely limited with the amount of houses that we can do. How do I protect good employees from burnout in the winter? We don't really get burnout in the winter. It's summertime, August, July. Ugh, that right there, that's tough. And then after spring rush, they get burnt out, but I just money, you know, just line their pockets. Thank you for your hard work and efforts. We did really good. Here's money. I don't know. Give me some suggestions. I'm open for suggestions. Money always talks to me. I like money. Okay, should winter be a retention season, not a season of growth? Oh, that's a good question. So how I look at it is it's definitely a retention season, right? We keep our current customers, but we get new customers during winter because you're going to get those customers that don't want to be out in the weather. Is it a crazy influx? Like, no. Right now, people are not worried about finding a pooper scooper. They're worried about finding somebody to plow their snow. They're worried about people icing their sidewalks. They're worried about making sure that their snow blowers and their generators have fuel just in case we lose power. The dog poop, not so much. So I would say, yes, it's a retention season. During snow emergencies, I wouldn't say that people are worried about it, but what will happen is like if people know there's going to be a big snowstorm and there's no snow on the ground, you will have an influx of customers that want to get the dog poop picked up. those last minute folks before the snow starts to cover it. Okay. What systems should be locked in before the snow hits? Your weather policy, have that locked in. Your frozen gate policy, have that locked in. Having your vehicles all maintained, like your oil changes, make sure your tires are good and rotated. Because as you know, like anything that could break, a lot of times will break in the winter when things are so frigid and so cold. I would say, yeah, those are the main ones. Yeah, your gate policy, your weather policy, how you're going to handle billing, and then your vehicle maintenance, because your vehicles are super important. Make sure all of that is good and safe. And you have all your winter gear. And maybe a couple extra rakes and buckets, just in case one breaks. Or you're like me, and this is back this is back when I used to have the bucket. I would have the bucket of solution, and I would put my bucket and my rake inside of there, and I'd let it slosh around between houses. I did like the soak method. I completely forgot about it one night, and then it froze overnight, and my utensils were frozen inside of the water. That sucked. Don't do that. Oh, how do I use winter to prep for spring rush? Oh, yeah. So what I'm doing right now, preparation, I'm hiring. I am going through Jobber and going through all of my data of all of my customers in an Excel spreadsheet, taking their 10 visits from the customer, because we clock in and clock out of all the jobs, averaging that. So I take 10 visits, add that up, divide it by 10 to give me the average amount of time I spend in that yard. Then I've been plugging that into my Excel spreadsheet that has a formula based off of what my man-hour rate is to give me how much I should actually be charging that customer based on the time it's actually taking us, to see if I need to increase the rate, or if we need to get our efficiency score higher to where it shouldn't be taking as long. So I got a bunch of numbers that go, so now I'm going through and I'm like updating my system to be like, okay, this yard is a 15-minute yard. If I have it priced at this rate, it's a 12-minute yard. I have it priced here. This is a 25-minute yard. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking the time to track that data. I'm also taking the time to hire. I'm also taking the time to figure out the process of how I'm going to get my customers, what's my offer, what's my leads, what are those areas, when they come in, where are they going, how fast are we going to respond to them, what our prices are going to be for our spring cleans, and what our priority is. So our priority is anybody that wants to sign up for recurring service. That would be an initial clean, which would be categorized during initial spring clean. During that time, during the spring rush, they're going to be more of a priority than somebody that just wants a one-time clean. So our one-time cleans are going to be pushed off to the weekends, so we can prioritize our current weekly customers that we're going to have to take care of, and then people that actually want to sign up and continue service with us. So we're just working on that, and we're working on our verbiage, our helping verbiage, to make sure that we can best educate the customer of why they should choose us and how we would be a good fit for them. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been working on. That and taxes. Taxes. Anyways. And it's really just having the staff, making sure you have the staff to be able to have the work that's coming in and just being visible. Should you even offer winter services your first year? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. All year round. Dogs poop all year round. What mistakes do new scoopers make their first winter? What mistakes did I make? Just being scared. Being scared about, should we go out? Should we not go out? Not having that weather policy in place. You know, being just unsure, not confident in like my decision making skills, and not being able to have the conversations with people about billing. Because there was times where I would give people credits back, you know, and then when the snow would melt, I'd be in their backyard for 45 minutes to an hour, basically doing that clean for free. Those would be the two biggest mistakes, is not having the terms of service and the weather policy figured out. But other than that, no, I don't know any other mistakes from other scoopers. Those are just my mistakes. Are you going to have a weekend crew to do initial scoops separate from your regular crew? So I have hired 2 part-timers to do, I've hired 2 part-timers that is going to go into full-time during spring rush. And I was very transparent with them that as of right now, I only have part-time work. That's like 8, 16, like 16 hours, maybe 24 hours, maybe, but probably around that 16 hours until spring rush hits. And then I can give you 40 hours. Everybody on board said that they're willing to work the weekends. Whatever we got to do for that 6 weeks, they're down. What I will do is I will play it by ear. If I see that they are too burnt out and I see that it's just too much for them, I probably will take them off the weekends, because I feel like they're probably not psychos like me and Josh. And then I also have my husband too for the weekends. So we'll just see. We'll see how it plays out. I still have some flexibility like on our regular route. Like our Tuesday route is not Tuesday. Thursday. Like our Thursday route is not maxed out. Our Friday route is not maxed out. I moved a lot of houses from Monday to Tuesday. So Monday is not maxed out. That was the other thing. Going back to winter, I did a huge schedule shift. I went through and I like adjusted my routing. This is going to sound crazy. And I was just like, when I seen it, I said, why didn't I do this sooner? But I didn't realize, because I just wasn't paying attention. I freed up so much time on our routes. So much time by moving people's by moving people's service day from one day to the other and combining them when we're in the area. I probably freed up, you know, I can't give you a number, but a lot. Like I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, wow, we have a lot of extra room. Because that just goes to show how important route density is. Like we were driving out to Northville, which is like 25 minutes away, two times a week, which is, it's silly. That's too far out, when I could have just combined all of those houses on Tuesday, and we're already in that area anyways. Like we're not necessarily that far north in that area, but we're that far north on the other side of the expressway, and then on Tuesday we're right below that area. So why not just add that in when we had the extra room? So that's a long answer to say I'm not exactly sure yet what that's going to look like, but I'm going to figure it out once we get into it. And I freed up like a lot of, we're going to be able to fit a lot more in now that I made adjustments to that schedule. What policies would I never change even if customers push back? Aggressive dogs. We won't go in yards with aggressive dogs. I'm not going to allow that. If they've ever made my technicians uncomfortable or done anything that makes my technicians be afraid to come to their house. Speaking to them poorly. Maybe if a male was not appropriate with one of my female scoopers, which I've had before, that's not tolerated. My dog bite policy, if your dog comes out and nips or bites one of my staff members, you're terminated, you're gone, absolutely. That's really it. Like, sometimes if people don't pay, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm forgiving. Like, I understand things happen. So I have gone back on that before and forgiven people. But yeah, dog bites. As for like technicians, I've hired people back that I have let go. I've hired back people that I have quit. But what I wouldn't is if you lie, you know, if you lie or you do any like cheating or stealing from me or from a customer, or I catch you in a bold-faced lie, something that's just not, you can't come back from that. Especially if you don't own it. If you don't own it, there's no coming back, because I just can't have dishonest people around me. I understand people make mistakes, and if you're the type of person that like makes a mistake, but like you can own it, right? I feel like that's how you can change and move forward. But yeah, I think that's really it. The rest of it, I don't know, things happen. Those are my, I guess, my non-negotiables. So yeah, that's it. Those were all the questions that I had pulled up. Dang, we've been on here for 62 minutes. Holy smokes. All right. Well, you got any questions before I hop off? I think I'm going to take a nap. I'm tired. I probably shouldn't take a nap because I'm probably not going to sleep tonight, but there's just something about a Sunday nap after you've eaten some delicious tater tots and after you've just chatted with your community on YouTube. It's just something nice, I guess. I don't know. I just want to take like a little like a little nap. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you. This was really cool. I think, oh, I don't even know if I want to say this publicly yet. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of time off social media. With spring rush upon us, I just have a lot riding on this spring rush. You know, last year was a recovery year. I really had to bounce back from the year prior. I was able to recover. And coming into spring rush, I've got a lot on the line. I'm very excited, and I really want to hone in on my focus. So I'm going to try to record a couple like spring rush videos, but I think I'm going to take a little bit of time away from the podcast, take a little bit of a break. I already have talked to Mr. Producer about that and talked to my editor, and we're going to kind of shift our focus just for a short period of time, because I want to double the business this year. And in order to do that, I got to be locked in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure that out, because I love you guys so much and I want to be here for you. And I also need to do what I got to do for my business. So figure it out behind the scenes. So thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. This is really cool. Stay warm out there. Stay safe out there. And for us people up here in the Midwest, and with the temperatures, we're only a couple weeks away. We're only a couple weeks away from the big melt. And then we get to see what we're made of. We get to see what we're made of. We get to see what our staff's made of. And we get to see what works, what's going to break. Because the cool thing is when things break in your business, you know what to work on for next time. And as an entrepreneur, it's actually exciting. Because we're problem solvers, right? We're problem solvers. We want to be able to fix things. So I'm just excited to see what breaks so we can fix it. So, all right, well, cool. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Candy for life. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Bye, Tammy. Bye, Kathy. Hey, Rich. Bye, David. All right, have a good one. How do I shut this thing off? I don't know. I'm like an old lady. I don't know how to shut that stream off. And exit? There we go. Bye.